Have you ever felt drained by someone's relentless negativity or polarizing remarks? After Donald Trump's victory in the U.S. presidential election, the Mental Health Foundation reported a wave of concern about mental well-being. It's no wonder. Troubling events, whether in the world or in our personal lives, can deeply unsettle our peace, leaving us feeling overwhelmed and destabilized. When the world feels this divisive and chaotic, how do we find our footing again? Hi, I'm Stephen Hick. Together, we'll explore how these practices can be a lifeline, anchoring us in the present and empowering us to navigate life's challenges with greater clarity and strength. Let me start with a story.
In my youth, I often became upset over political matters. When I encountered misogynistic, racist, or homophobic opinions, it would ignite my anger, sometimes causing me to respond with biting remarks. I also collaborated with different political groups, and reflecting on it, now I recognize that I was just a frustrated, angry activist. I felt disheartened by the apparent lack of progress. I felt like I was carrying the weight of the world on my shoulders. I was angry, often felt anxious, and was not very effective in my social change work. One day, a spiritual mentor offered me a piece of advice that changed everything. Instead of wrestling with what's outside, start first by tending to what's within. That shift in perspective opened the door to practices that transformed how I handled political conflicts. The first practice that profoundly transformed my experience was mindfulness, particularly when approached as resting in awareness. Mindfulness isn't just about observing our thoughts and sensations. It's about cultivating a relationship with them that allows us to notice without being swept away. It began with simple steps like taking a few minutes each day to focus on my breath. The steady rhythm of inhaling and exhaling created a pause in the constant stream of activity and worry. That pause felt like opening a window in a stuffy room, allowing fresh air to circulate. As I practiced, I noticed that mindfulness was more than just a technique for managing stress or negativity. It revealed a deeper truth. Behind the ever-changing waves of thoughts, emotions, and sensations, there exists a still and steady awareness. This awareness isn't something I had to create or achieve. It was always present, like the sky behind the clouds. Resting as awareness means recognizing this spacious, peaceful presence within us. Over time, this shift was profound. I realized that mindfulness wasn't just about paying attention to the present moment, but also about reconnecting with my essential nature. The awareness that notices everything, including the practice of mindfulness itself. This deeper connection brought a sense of grounding and calm that went beyond simply coping. It showed me that even in the most turbulent moments, there is a place of peace within us that cannot be shaken. This realization helped me respond to negativity and challenges with more clarity and compassion, rather than reacting impulsively or defensively. When practiced with this deeper understanding, mindfulness becomes more than a tool. It becomes a way of being. It is an invitation to rest in the spacious awareness that is always and already here, holding everything we experience with a profound and unshakable peace. Compassion came next, and it truly was a game changer. Initially, I found myself resistant to the idea. Why should I feel compassion for people who seem so determined to spread negativity or cause harm? It felt unjust, almost like letting them off the hook. But as I began to explore the practice, I realized that compassion had nothing to do with excusing bad behavior or ignoring harm. Instead, it was about transforming the way I held my own heart in the face of difficulty. Compassion softened me, helping me see others not just as sources of negativity, but as individuals likely grappling with their own pain, struggles, or unmet needs. I realized that holding on to anger and resentment only tightened the knot within me. Compassion involved loosening that grip and choosing not to allow others' actions to disturb my inner peace. This choice didn't imply agreement with or acceptance of harmful behavior. It meant refusing to let such behavior take root as bitterness or hatred. I started with small, simple actions. One of the most impactful practices I discovered was wishing others well in silence, even those who confronted me. May you be happy. May you find freedom from suffering. These phrases turned into a mantra for me, establishing a connection between my frustration and the acknowledgement of our shared humanity. Initially, it felt awkward, almost forced. However, as I continued this practice, a change began to occur. The power of these words wasn't in changing the other person, it was in changing me. With every wish for someone else's well-being, I felt a weight lift from my own heart. Compassion didn't erase the challenges I faced or make difficult people disappear, but it transformed the way I experienced them. My emotional load felt lighter, and I found myself less reactive and more centered, even in the face of negativity. Practicing compassion also taught me something profound. Everyone, no matter how they behave, wants to be happy and free from suffering, just as I do. Recognizing this universal longing helped me feel less isolated and more connected, even to those who seem so different from me. This practice became a daily act of courage and kindness, a way of extending grace both to others and to myself. And then there was gratitude. It's easy to lose sight of the good when we're surrounded by stress and conflict. But shifting my focus to what was still beautiful in my life made all the difference. At the end of each day, I began writing down 3 things I was grateful for. Some days, it was big things, a kind word from a friend or an opportunity to help someone. On other days, it was as simple as noticing the warmth of the sun on my face. Over time, I realized that even amidst chaos, there was always something to be thankful for. These 3 practices, true mindfulness, compassion, and gratitude, have become my compass, guiding me through life's storms and anchoring me in a deeper sense of inner peace. They have allowed me to move through challenges with greater clarity, balance, and purpose, transforming how I engage with the world. Through these practices, I've learned that cultivating peace and resilience isn't just about personal well-being. It's about showing up with kindness, strength, and presence for the people around us, creating a ripple effect that can touch countless lives. Imagine what it would feel like to meet negativity without being pulled into it, to navigate life's chaos with calm and grace, and to uncover the quiet but undeniable goodness that's always present when we take the time to notice. Picture yourself responding to life's challenges, not with frustration or fear, but with a steadiness that comes from a heart full of compassion and gratitude. This is what these practices offer. The beauty is that it doesn't require grand gestures or perfect mastery. It begins with small, consistent steps, a few mindful breaths, a simple wish for someone's well-being, or a moment to pause and appreciate what's good in your life. These seemingly small acts are transformative when practiced with intention. They remind us that no matter how turbulent the world may seem, we have the power to cultivate peace and goodness within ourselves. So why not start today? Begin where you are, with whatever time and energy you have. These practices can gently reshape your experience, helping you not only endure life's storms, but thrive in their midst, discovering strength, clarity, and joy you may not have known was possible. Thank you for joining me today. If this resonates with you, I encourage you to try one of these practices for yourself. You might just discover, as I did, that the best way to navigate a storm is to first find stillness within